Why Aryna Sabalenka competes without a national flag next to her name. Aryna Sabalenka has 4 Grand Slam titles to her name, but she does not compete with a country's flag next to her name on the scoreboard, or at least she hasn't since 2022. Sabalenka was born in Minsk, Belarus in 1998. In 2022, athletes from Russia and Belarus were initially banned from most professional sporting events, from Formula One racing to the FIFA World Cup, around the world as punishment for the invasion of Ukraine. The International Tennis Federation immediately suspended Russia and Belarus from competition, noting players from Russia and Belarus will continue to be allowed to compete in international tennis events as individuals. However, they will not compete under the name or flag of Russia or Belarus until further notice. Nothing has changed in the over 3 years since. Sabalenka has expressed frustration that she still competes without a flag. It is really sad to see that sports are involved in politics in many ways, because I feel like sport was created to avoid some of the more difficult times. I really hope that we're not going to face it again. I think people will learn that sport has nothing to do with politics, she said last year. Wimbledon took the ban a step further, without an exemption whatsoever that first year. In a statement published in April 2022, the All England club wrote, "In the circumstances of such unjustified and unprecedented military aggression, it would be unacceptable for the Russian regime to derive any benefits from the involvement of Russian or Belarusian players with the championships." However, within a year, Wimbledon relaxed the ban, operating similarly to the ITF. But the All England club still has strict guidelines for these players, stipulating they must compete as neutral athletes. The New York Times reported in 2023, noting they must compete without anthems, flags, or other nationalist trappings, and they must not express support for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Sponsorship from state-owned companies also will be forbidden. Questions over Sabalenka's stance on the war have followed her more than most players on the tour after she initially refused to outright condemn it. During the 2023 French Open, she told reporters amid questions about photos that had surfaced of her shaking hands with Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko and if she supported him. "It's a tough question. I don't support war, meaning I don't support Lukashenko right now." 2 days later, Sabalenka gave a stronger condemnation, telling reporters at Roland Garros, "Nobody in this world, Russian athletes or Belarusian athletes, support the war. Nobody. How can we support the war? Nobody. Normal people will never support it." But Ukrainian tennis player Marta Kostyuk still questioned Sabalenka's choice of words, saying, "I feel like you should ask these players who they want to win the war. Because if you ask this question, I'm not so sure these people will say that they want Ukraine to win." A month later at Wimbledon in 2023, Sabalenka made a preemptive statement to the press. "Before we continue, I would like to say I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm here to talk about tennis only. Please respect that. If you have any kind of political questions, you can ask WTA or the tournament."